Football, it's the ECAP FA Cup first round, and Douglas Royal against Malou is a postponement and a bit of a different treatment from the football side to the rugby side.
Yeah, they're out.
Mepham.
Malou are out.
They're just kicked out the tournament. Can't field a team, you're out.
It's a shame, Tim, because over the last couple of years we've had cup competitions where we've lost ties in the game. And you're right, what you were saying, skiing season. But what surprises me, this is a first team game, so combination players can step up, and I think you've got to try and field a team if you can. And Douglas Royal are a Premiership side and a good young side, but Malou, this is what you challenge yourself for, is to try and play against one of these sides that are, if you like, in the bottom half of the Premier League. And unfortunately, Malou are going to go out of the cup, so Douglas Royal go through. And with the Laxey Corinthians game being postponed today for the right things, Fraser Vaughan's funeral, so that's got to be arranged somewhere along the line. But the big guns have been kept apart, and there's some quite interesting games tomorrow afternoon.
Well, I'm not going to be biased, but I'm going to start with Colby against Douglas Athletic, because I think that is the game, to be quite honest, looking at it purely as a pundit, that catches the eye most.
Well, I think it is, because when you look at Colby's results over the last 2 or 3 games, they've been pretty impressive, and Adam Fretwell's done a great job down there, because I've watched...
They've got a goal machine as well, haven't they? 32 goals?
Carl Hickey.
Aye,
and at the start of the season... I looked at him and I just thought to myself, he's got something about him. And 1 or 2 people have said to me, "Are you related to him?" No, I'm not. But I just know when a person can score goals, Tim. And I even mentioned it to 1 or 2 of the Ireland team set up, is just go and have a look at him, because evidently he used to be a centre-back. But my word, he can finish. And when you look at the goals, what was it, 8, I think, his first game of the season. And since then, he is absolutely scoring for fun. And Colby needs to keep him fit. But there are
32 goals in 12 games.
That's right. And Luke Roberts is putting him under pressure now, because, Luke's scored a couple of hat-tricks over the last 2 to 3 games. So it's a nice problem to have when you've got people who can put the ball into the back of the net. But you're right in what you're saying. When you look at them against Douglas Athletic, I think Craig Purvis knows that they haven't been firing on all cylinders of late. They played that game against Old Boys and they were going quite well. But then they sort of fell apart towards the end, and Craig was a bit upset with some of the decisions, but that's what happens in sport. Some things go for you, some go against, but Colby Douglas Athletic...
It's not worth a red card, though.
Well, it's not, because it can hurt your pocket as well, but Colby and Douglas Athletic, it's a really interesting game to watch. I'm glad it's at Colby, because Douglas Athletic's pitch, a little bit wet at the moment, a bit tighter, so I think it'll allow for both sides to open it up a little bit and have a good game. Douglas Athletic, a good side, Tim, so don't take this as a gimme for Colby with the form that they're in. But I think the way Colby are playing at the moment, then I'm just swaying towards them to go into the hat tomorrow night.
OK, there's plenty of other Division 2 sides that are tackling Premier League opposition. Airplay St Mary's, the champions. There's a visit to Onchan for the cup holders, Peel, and Russian go to Foxdale. Yeah, any shocks there?
I don't know. I think Ayr against St Mary's, Ayr United have got players there who have played against St Mary's last season, 3 or 4 of them, so they know exactly what's coming. St Mary's results over the last 2 or 3 games have been a little bit tighter, because players have not been available, 1 or 2 sort of injuries. As where with Ayr United, I've watched them twice this year, and the one against St John's when they were 2-0 down, they showed a bit of character when they got back into it, and certainly Steve Jones's team there will prefer it at Ayr. Tight pitch, it's a little bit boggy last time I was down there, so that might just help them. But St Mary's have done it before, Tim, where they've played on real, sort of tired pitches, struggling with the weather, and they've opened up the opposition. Onchan against Peel and Foxdale against Russian. We've spoken to both Onchan and Foxdale to say if there's a problem with your pitches, please look at it sensibly, because Peel's pitch is available, so is Russian. So let's switch it, and we'll wait and see what the weather forecast or what weather comes in certainly tonight. But Onchan against Peel. Peel, they're a little bit fragile at the moment. Rhys Oates has got a problem with his knee, and Rhys could be out for a while. I believe Lee Gale's got the same situation with him, but not as serious as possibly Rhys's might be. But we're waiting for information on that one. But it does look as if those 2 boys might be out for a while, unless they can try and fix them up. So David Rhys's boys at Onchan Stadium will fancy maybe trying to get something out of that game, but I still think Peel's young players that they've got there are still strong enough to get that result. Billy Goat Park, well, when you look at how they've been going, they've been scoring plenty of goals as well, as were with Russian. To me, and I'll say it again, have been the surprise package of the season, because I think at the start of the season everyone was looking at them when they lost Dan Hattersley, when they lost Josh Kelly, and thought, where's the goals going to come from? Mikey Williams still there scoring goals. Jimmy Johnson's injured at the moment, but they've been able to share the responsibility. Steve Ryden will twang a few in with that left foot of his, but I think Rushen will just have enough to beat Foxdale.
And we've got 2 all-Premier clashes. Ramsey against Old Boys and St George's against Poole Rose.
You'd expect St George's, I think, to win that one comfortably, and hopefully we're going to be speaking to Chris Bass later on in Football Focus. But I think Poole Rose have done really well, Tim, to keep it going, because 1 or 2 players have sort of left them when really they could have done with them hanging in there just to give the squad a bit more strength. So I expect St George's young players there to have a comfortable afternoon. And Ramsey against Old Boys, this could be a bit of a surprise, because I think when this fixture came out, most people looked at it for Old Boys to win, but I just think at the moment Old Boys are having to really work hard for their results, as where with Ramsey seemed to have turned the corner a little bit, playing better and started scoring goals, which was a struggle for them at the start of the season.
While Colby and Ayr and others are in FA Cup action, the race for the Division 2 top 2 places...
Nightmare,
you throw a blanket over that table at the moment. There's so many in with a shout, but St John's, Braddon, Union Mills, Michael, 2 big games, those.
Well, they are, and St John's, it just shows you how much it is, because James Rice, the goalkeeper, is injured at the moment. So Damien Petkoff comes back in. He's played 1 this season. He's going to play a 2nd tomorrow, hopefully. So John O'Neill's team at Braddon, I think, have just slipped up too much of late, Tim. I think they've lost too many games, and against the teams that they need to beat.
Yeah.
Because you know if you're going to get promoted Division 2 to the Premier League or stand a chance of getting involved, you need to beat the teams around you, and that's what's happened now. They're all on their 2nd bash. This is a rearranged fixture, but I think St John's with Callum Taggart there in charge will just have enough there to take that game away from Braddon. But Union Mills and Michael's results have improved of late. And Kieran McNulty's there. I know you've been keeping an eye on that one and scoring plenty of goals. And when you look at Nick Hurt still there, be able to steer the ship at the back for them, then they'll have a real good go against Union Mills. But I think Union Mills have just got enough quality there to take them points away from Michael.